Greetings, ladies ascending into menopause. Today I wanted to talk about menopause and depression, or perimenopause and depression. I just came from a yoga class, and during the final pose, those of you who do yoga know they have you just lay on the ground in corpse pose. In Kemetic yoga, we call it Sahu pose. In Vinyasa, they call it Shavasana, where you just lie on your back and you take a scan of your body and you just notice how you're feeling. And the instructor normally tells you to notice how you feel now as opposed to how you felt, at the start of class. And normally at the start of class, people come in tense, tight, mind racing, thinking of all the things that they have to do or didn't do or whatever. But I tend to be in a pretty relaxed state, so I was feeling pretty good since I do exercise and do yoga on a daily. Anyway, I did notice in that moment, though, how good I felt compared to when I used to be very depressed. And I remember being depressed when I first found out that I was ascending toward menopause, but not knowing that I was ascending toward menopause. I just didn't know what was wrong with me. And I did read in a book by Dr. Christiane Northrup that women who are entering menopause or perimenopause, they tend to do career changes, or they tend to do very dynamic, bold things that are unheard of because of, quote unquote, the age that they're in. And, American society doesn't feel that women should be able to evolve or develop or improve themselves after a certain age because we are in a youth obsessed culture. And I was so grateful in that moment that tears almost started, streaming down my face. I just felt so grateful in that moment and the work that I put in to come out of that depressed state. But then I reflected on what assisted me in coming out of that depressed state. And that was expressing myself more, believing in myself more, not dimming myself down according to family or just internal negative speech. I changed my career when I was 48 years old. I started ascending toward menopause when I was about 46. I've gone on wonderful adventures, traveled globally by myself. I have done really incredible, amazing things at ages where people normally think that a woman should be, quote unquote, washed up, you know? So my depression became an expression of my best self. And I continue to do that. And it started small. So for me, I just started watching my diet more because I noticed that, even though I eat very well, even like the occasional French fries or the occasional root beer or ginger ale, that high content of sugar was actually depressing my system. And then when I learned about nutrients and, learning that one molecule of sugar takes like 45 milligrams of magnesium to metabolize, I was like, wow, well, no wonder I'm magnesium deficient. And most women in menopause are magnesium deficient because most women in menopause or ascending toward menopause, they crave sweets. So just think about all the sugar that you consume and how that pulls magnesium from your body. And it's really hard to replace that much magnesium in a day. And magnesium is essential for our bodies to operate and for us to feel good. So just think about that. And it was like the little tiny things that I decided to do that helped lift me out of that depressed state. And that allowed me to feel more balanced, allowed my body to be in a better homeostasis, allowed me to just ascend. And sometimes when you are depressed, you go toward things that really aren't good for you. You know, we go toward the alcohol, even the wine. Sorry, ladies. We go toward the drugs, even things that are considered natural, like marijuana. They actually, over time, can depress the system. You may feel good in the moment, and just that tiny little bit of happiness or that high, it doesn't contribute to long term feeling good if you do it every day. I'm not saying if you do it occasionally, but if that's like a part of your daily routine, it does depress your system. And I am not against cannabis whatsoever. It's tiny little things that we need to do, but we have the power to elevate ourselves whenever we want throughout the course of our lives. So I just wanted to share that with you. So, if you can't go to a yoga class, stretch. Match that stretch with the breath. Instead of drinking that Pepsi or Coca Cola, drink water, drink some herbal tea. Don't use white sugar, use other sweeteners. There's agave, there's honey. There are things that are not going to be so invasive in your system. And we have to remember that we have to keep our nervous system balanced. And all of these things will help keep your hormones balanced. When you're tired, ladies, you have to lay it down. You got to shut it down. You have to rest. If you have children, I do understand that you have to attend to your children, but you have to find a way to get your rest. Find some type of habit of self care. You have to do something because menopause can last 10 years or more. So it's better to try to navigate it and manage it in its earlier stages than just allow yourself to be a feather in the wind and just caving into any type of craving or caving into whatever your body is telling it that it wants to do. You have to activate your mind and allow your mind, just take a moment and just think, is this going to give me life and liberty, or is this going to depress me? Is this going to be good for the long term? We have to just expand our vision on this a little bit more. So I just wanted to put that in your head, just food for thought. Love, health, and wealth to all of my beautiful ladies ascending toward menopause. Peace.